As a freshman, there are many things to worry about. 15-page essays, where the hip parties are, your examinations. But one of the most pressing is how to get along with your roommate. Experts in university housing have been working for years to formulate tips and tricks to help you and your roommates get along. In some universities, housing officials have even designed roommate matching programs. Some simple, asking questions like, "Are you an early riser?" Others asking in-depth questions about personality and interests. Ultimately, however, it doesn't matter how many common interests or habits you and your roommate might share. If you're unwilling to take the necessary steps to communicate, conflict will arise when stress levels spike. You don't have to be best friends with your roommate, but if you follow these 5 tips laid out by college housing officials, you can make the relationship cordial and conflict-free. Tip number 1. Call, don't click. Once you've found or been assigned a roommate through your school's matching service, it's fine to look them up on Facebook. But don't judge them based on what you find online, or let that be the extent of your pre-college contacts. Experts say don't just rely on social media to get to know someone. You never know what you will find online. And people are more than the pictures they post on social network sites, and sometimes conduct themselves very differently online. Give them a call to simply introduce yourself and be more than an electronic friend. Don't say we didn't warn you. Tip number 2. Don't let problems pile up. Just as laundry becomes difficult to manage when it never gets done, so it goes with roommate conflict. No matter how well you might get along with someone, if you spend the majority of the day cooped up in a 400 square foot room with them, their idiosyncrasies might start to grate your nerves. Experts say if your roommate has a habit that annoys you, or there's a more serious problem, have an honest conversation, or risk unleashing a tirade near semester's end. The first one to know about roommate conflict should be your roommate. Tip number 3. You don't have to be best friends. There are a lucky few who form close bonds with their roommates, but according to housing officials, it's not the norm. The only expectation you should have of your roommate is that they respect you and the living space. Anything beyond that is a gift, not a mandate. Most freshmen feel pressure to become best friends with their roommate. This isn't necessary, nor is it realistic. You merely have to live together. If the end result next May is that you're best friends, well, that's great. Tip number 4. Compromise. Many college freshmen arrive to school having grown used to having a room to themselves. That's not usually the case when living on campus, so be prepared to compromise. A steady give and take between you and your roommate will ease tensions that can arise in a shared room. It's about sharing and coming up with workable compromises that both you and your roommate are comfortable with. Compromise doesn't have to mean sacrifice. It means working together with your roommate so you can both be comfortable. Tip number 5. Set rules. Though it may be awkward at first, having a frank conversation with your roommate in the first few days in an effort to set some rules will prove to be helpful in the long term. Whether it be about cleaning the room, listening to music, or having your friends over, letting your roommate know what might make you uncomfortable is important. Roommates should discuss, can guys stay the night? Can girls stay the night? Even if it's against campus policy for that to happen, be sure to have the conversation. If you can follow these simple rules, you and your roommates should have a conscientious, conflict-free, and overall swell year in your residence hall.